Right everyone, welcome back to the SGGT YouTube channel. Today we're going to be taking a step inside the workshop to have a look at something that we use on a day-to-day basis in fittings and in our builds. SST Pure technology. We're going to go inside and find out what it is, what it does, and what it can do for your bag. So let's take a step inside and have a look at what it does. Quickly, before we get into that, if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button below. Put your post notifications on so you don't miss another video just like this one. Let's go. So let's run a shaft for the SST Pure machine. So normally what happens at the start of the process is you'll put a weighted chuck on the end of the shaft. You'll understand why we do this in a couple of seconds. So as you can see on the starting screen, the machine's found a starting point. So we'll click start. There we go. So in simple terms, the shaft is going to be rotated over 360 degrees throughout the process. There's a little arm that is going to ping the shaft, and you'll notice that the shaft kind of wibbles in a larger sort of ellipsis or circle. And as the SST machine pures the shaft, it's going to keep rotating it, and what you'll see is eventually that wibbling and wobbling will be less and less and less and more on a plane, and it's going to get as small as possible as it can. So by the end of it, it should be moving as close as it can to a perfect plane, and then at the end of the process it will put a nice little mark along where it thinks the most stable point is, and then on the final screen it'll tell you on a percentage base of where it started to where it is now. So here we can see the machine is now marking the shaft. So we'll finish that, take the chuck off. And what you'll see with SST Pure shafts is, with the decals on the shaft, they're not perfectly in line. So normally when you would install a shaft in a build, the graphics would be facing down so you don't see it. Versus with this shaft, you'll be able to see that there's a pured mark way off from where you would normally have the decal on the shaft. So we would have that line facing up, and that's the most stable point, or the spine of the shaft, as I like to say. Right, so mocked up a little driver that's similar to what I would use myself on course. We're going to do a little bit of testing now. I'm going to do 5 shots with SST, and I'm going to do 5 shots without SST. It might give you a representation of why you should maybe consider putting SST in your bag. Let's go. For years, SGGT has been using SST Pure throughout their demo matrix range. As you can see here on the shaft, we have a little pured sticker just to show you where the orientation of the spine of the shaft is. So, finished doing the testing. I've hit my 5 drives with SST and I've hit my 5 drives without SST. So, first thing I'm going to say when we're going to look at this data, I'm purely just going to focus on the dispersion, because for me that's the crux of what we're trying to get out of your golf club. Just those fine margins of what we can do to try and make it better. So, straight off the bat, blue circle on our screen here is the dispersion for it with SST. So nice and tight dispersion, nice grouping, slightly out to the right. I would say I was kind of missing it out to the right more than anything, leaving the face open, that's okay. So moving on from that, we go to the red circle. So the red circle's without SST, don't know where it is. Hit 5 shots with that, and we can see on the screen that dispersion bubble, for say, is just that wee bit bigger. But when you think about that in grand scheme of things, these balls down here could be missed fairways. These could be all in play and then the ones further out to the right could be first cut of rough. So it's, if I was in a fitting and I tried SST and I saw this data and I was trying to work out if I thought it was worth trying to put SST in my golf bag, the data's there to prove it. SST clearly works for me, so there's no doubt in my mind that I would put SST in the bag. It's a no-brainer. Right everyone, I really hope you enjoyed the video today looking at SST and the positives that it can have for your game. So if you yourself at home are interested in putting SST in your bag, or even looking at getting a fitting, check us out at www.sggt.co.uk and join us next week on Wednesday at 5 o'clock for our next YouTube video. See you next time.